So we all know about the INNOVVs, don't you? We know about the camera. Hold on. We know about the camera in the front. This is the INNOVV. And we know about the camera in the back, which is the INNOVV, the front to rear camera system. Fantastic thing, fantastic bit of kit. Well, anyway, this is the brain box of the thing. That's not to do with, that's the power distribution. It's a separate box, but we've fitted that with it. Anyway, and the annoyance is always, the other cameras are the same, getting this fiddly little bleeding, I mean, it's bad enough fitting the big ones, and I understand space is everything, you know, you've got to be careful with space, but you know, you've got to stuff this into something somewhere, and it's quite springy, and if you don't get it right, you end up forcing it in, or there's a spring, so what happens is if you don't quite get it right, especially when you're fetching it out, it pops out, the bloody thing jumps out, and then you've lost it in your wherever you are. You know, it happens to be within the back of the box here, which is all full of rubbish, and you try and find this in one of this full of rubbish. So I've found one of the easiest ways. Is that going to work? No, that's not going to work. So anyway, let me show you one of the, what I find useful to keep. It's not a full size, it's one of them half size or quarter size electrical little twisted little pliers things. I find it's so much easier to handle the little chip. So much easier to handle the little chip rather than your fat fingers, which mine are. It's easier just to handle it that way, and to put it in that particular place, I find it very easy, or much easier to do it. Hold on, let me do it, and then I'll show you. What I do is there we are. I tend to hold it this way, and then put it in that way. But you know, you've got to try and stuff it in. At the same time, you've got to hold this little rubber strip back. And obviously that's, if it's in an open, we're lucky here because it's inside a box, but if it's underneath the bike, it has to be have a certain sort of waterproof, water resistance to it. But there must be, I know you can download them to your phone, you can do all sorts of that, but it's slow and clunky. Basically, the best way to do is get your chip, put it in one of these adapters and stick it in your computer if you want to go through a whole day's thing. But there must be an easier way to get in these bleeding little chips, little tiny chips in and out of these, into this equipment. You know, it's okay if that was on your desk in front of you, and I'm sure those are the people that made it, but actually in the field, on the bikes where they're fitted, it's a nightmare of a thing. And of course, it doesn't help that, oh damn, did I drop it? Where the hell did it go? Oh yeah, it doesn't help that there's a right and a wrong way, because I can never remember which is the right way and which is the wrong way, and invariably I always do it the wrong way first and then discover that's not the right way, and then you turn it round, you put it in the right way. A bit of a pain in the butt doing it, but anyway, let's put the chip back in the bike and let's make sure it runs, because one of the biggest mistakes I've done, gone and done a thing, presumed it was on, and actually it wasn't on. So now, one of the things we do, we double check and make sure the cameras are working right. It was the same, you didn't get any side cameras of the last event, because for some reason, somehow, somewhat, I don't know what the hell we've done, but we did it wrong and it never recorded both sides. These are very much hit and miss. They're on, you think they're on, you think they're working, you won't know until they've worked or recorded, until you get them home, and it's too late then. This particular camera, don't ask me why, don't know what press, Obviously we've been thick, and obviously we don't know what the hell we've done, but it only took the last 2 minutes of arriving back in after all the event. So what we did wrong, we don't know, but we'll charge them up again and plug them in and try and set them up again and carry on. Yeah, so anyway, I'll stop waffling and let's put this damn thing in here. So we've got to try and find a solution. This is the rear camera. Everything's fine, but it does wobble. It's good and secure, but it does this, doesn't it? Because of the way the bracket is, because the bracket's up there, which is fine, which is connected to that, which is connected to these, which is the original number plate bracket. So as a number plate, it's not a problem. As a place to put a camera is not a problem, but it does like to do this, doesn't it? It does like to flex. And it's not a case of just put a bit of sponge here. Because this cable is coming out the back of it, look. So we don't really want that cable pushing or giving us any trouble. How are we gonna stop this from flexing? I mean, we see plenty. It doesn't really interfere with the picture much, but it would be nice to have this a little more stable somehow. How are we going to fix that then? We're in the back of the bike. This is the underneath. There's the handle opens up, top lid. There's the side handles. These open the side. Watch. You pull that there, and the lid just gently opens. The other side's the same. You pull the handle there. You pull and the door opens. Look. And then these are the catches that you lock. You can choose to lock your helmet, and then they unlatch from inside the box. Here's the rear number plate light, and look, this is the LED that nicely hidden and tucked way under here that reflects on here. Of course the rear lights, but how are we going to stop this from flexing? And of course not rubbing the wood. Look, I haven't gone around there I haven't reached around there with the polishing cloth. Uh-oh, Reggie, bad boy Reggie. Took the polish on, took the polish off. So how are we going to stop this from, it's not touching, so it's okay, but how are we going to stop that from, not easy, is it? It's not an easy, because the fixing point is way up here, all the way away on here behind the number plate. We'll have to figure that one out, won't we? We're going to have to figure that out. So, because we know, generally we just go to the calf and back and we do the odd out, but whilst we're here now, preparing for our journey, we know we're going to be going far and we're going to be going fast, so we just round banging, double checking. We know everything's okay, but you might have missed something, so specifically just get in here, get around, get looking, making sure that you've just got peace of mind. You've done all your checks. There's nothing particularly hanging off or coming loose or going to give you any trouble. And it just gives you that little bit of, that little bit of peace of mind that you've done that little bit extra. Usually we just jump on them and go down the calf, and that's okay. But this is the journey we're making is like a bit of a once in a year, once or twice a year journey. So you get and you make sure everything is just so. Simply because you're going to be going far, well, further than usual, and faster than usual. So just double check everything, and you know, obviously what will happen, but you try to avoid it just in case there's something stupid somewhere that you haven't quite spotted. And I know you're going to ask me, Reggie, what's that ugly bit of wire that you have dangling out the side there? Well, when I go, I put the cap on, I travel, I stuff it up in there. But this is the battery tender cable that runs the battery tender optimizer or Optimate. I always plug it in with a good and green, because remember, the last thing you've done to get it in is you've backed it in. It's got a reverse, and if you've been messing about and you've reversed it once or twice or maybe 3 times, that's the most draining thing you can do to the battery, is the last thing to do, because you come off a run fine, you've got a full battery, and then all of a sudden you drain it because you've come up a slight slope, or you've gone next door and then you've moved it into here, and you've reversed it into next door, and then you've come here and then you've reversed it into here. So I always plug her in, always. Whenever she comes back in here, she's always plugged in. So we know we've always got a full charge of battery.